So this is a training that I did last week for my SGS clients, and in this one, I dive into how to create a highly converting landing page so you can get your freebies, your lead magnets, and everything else out there into the world so you can start driving traffic, generating leads, and filling your email list. So within this training, I dive into the four key elements that you need to create that high converting landing page. I also go through how to craft each element, and then right at the end, I share a ChatGPT prompt that you can use to streamline the copywriting process to make that a little bit easier. So dive in, take what you can from it, and I hope you get some value.
Cool. So I put this training together, and it's focused all around lead magnets and landing pages. It is the strategy, and at the end, if you do, to be honest, you guys are quite good with the system anyway. Paul, I know you've been using it for ages. Claire, I know you're flat out. Lorna, you're getting better with the system as well, to be fair. But if you do want me to dive into the actual system stuff, then let me know, and we can do that towards the end. But I've put this training together to really help the members inside the system get as much clarity as they can around building converting lead magnets and landing pages. And hopefully today I'll share something that maybe is something that you didn't maybe think of, that you haven't thought of, that is going to help you when creating your next lead magnet. So we're going to focus on a couple of things. We're going to look at the key elements of a high converting landing page. And I was a little bit iffy, like putting like that high converting thing in, right? Because it's very like marketing, it's very, high converting sales page. But there is a difference between a sales page or a landing page, sorry, that doesn't convert and one that does convert ultimately, right? And that result is getting more leads, getting more people through our ecosystem. So we're going to cover the four elements that have to be in every single page, and I'll talk to you as well about different, depending on the traffic that we're driving, whether we're driving cold traffic, warm traffic. Again, that does impact our landing page and what we need to have in it. We're going to look at structuring those four stages as well. As you can see, learn how to structure the headline, subheadline, description, and call to action. And then I've got a ChatGPT script as well that you can that I can share with you. It is in this document, so you can get this document at the end that you can use when crafting. I'm a massive fan of ChatGPT. I'm a massive fan of AI. I'm a massive fan of systems, obviously. But when it's used in the right way, making sure that we're putting our own spin on things. Like all you have to do at the moment is go onto social media, and AI written content is so obvious today that it is a little bit like sickening. So we have to make sure we're using it in the right way. We have to make sure that we're putting our stamp on it. We have to make sure that it is us at the end of the day. And I know Paula will back me up on that. She's probably the content queen when it comes to that stuff. So we're going to break it down into three parts. The first part is just understanding the purpose of a landing page. So I've put this document together because I like to do it this way, because I like to give you folks something to take away with. If you've been on my trainings before, you'll know I love documents. I write everything down and you can take the document away, no problem whatsoever. But also just to make sure I'm giving the information that I need to give at the same time. So we're going to look at understanding the purpose of a landing page and the four key elements. Okay, so a landing page, it is a focused single goal page that is ultimately designed to convert visitors into leads, if we're looking at it from a landing page perspective, not a sales page perspective. And we need them to take action, right? We want them to download something, want them to sign up, want them to register, insert whatever that lead magnet might be. But when it comes to freebies, your lead magnet is the hook, right? So the value, the training, the course, the checklist, whatever it is that you're giving people, that's the value, right? That's the value that you're going to give them if they give you their email address. Think of it as an exchange. You give me and I'll give you. You give me your email, I'll give you this. But it's the landing page that bridges the gap, okay? Our landing page is what makes them want it. Just because you have a freebie, just because you have something that's valuable, right? And I know there isn't a business owner on this planet that doesn't think the thing that they have is valuable, because if they didn't, they wouldn't be in business selling that thing. But just because you know that it's valuable doesn't mean that they do. And just because you talk about it doesn't mean that they ultimately want it. So the landing page is what makes them want that freebie. We have to tell them on that landing page why they need it. And that is the bridge between the freebie and then them ultimately downloading it and getting access to it and consuming it and then loving exactly what you do. And that is the bridge that we're going to focus on today. And there are 4 key elements that we'll need. Oh, who's that? Let me meet someone. Is it Paula? I'm just gonna shove you on mute, or do you want to shove you? That's all right. Right, cool. So the 4 elements that you'll need: headline, subheadline, description, and call to action. Now, you might have heard of these things, you might know what they are, you might not have heard of them, but these are the 4 key elements that we need as an absolute minimum. Now, today, I'm going to talk to you about landing. This is going to be more specific for landing pages that are driving warm-ish traffic. Now, believe it or not, ever since I've heard this thing, I can't get it out of my head, and I can't kind of get away from how true it is. Lead magnets are not for cold traffic, right? Lead magnets are not for cold leads. They're for warm leads. Now, we're in a trust recession. I don't know if people are talking about this. Trust is at an all-time low. People have been burnt. They've bought things that they were forced to buy. They've spent thousands of pounds because they were pressured into buying things. Like, we are in a trust recession. If you go back 10 years ago, it was so much easier to even get somebody to book a call. You just had to post a piece of content, get them to book a call, and they book a call. Whereas today, you have to, I think I was listening to Rabi Abubala, and he was saying a recent Google report says that people need to consume 7 hours of content before they actually become a high-ticket client, which 7 hours of content is a lot, because trust is at an all-time low. So lead magnets in the world that we live in today are for warm traffic. They're for people who have seen your stuff, for people who have seen your content. They maybe know a little bit about you. The colder that lead is, colder that person is, the more we need to consume on that, the more we need to have on that landing page. So this format of landing pages is for your existing audience, is for you to grab people from the following that you have, the connections that you have, and get them into your sales process. So the headline itself grabs attention and tells the visitor what they'll get. It's the first thing that they see. The subheadline then supports the headline, builds curiosity, because just because they see something doesn't mean they're going to keep going through that sales process, doesn't mean they're going to keep reading, doesn't mean they're going to keep skimming. Like, you've probably done it yourself. I know I have. You click on a page, and like within half a second, you've probably made up your mind as to whether you're going to carry on, because attention is scarce. And then you throw in things like the kids running around, or your partner shouting up the stairs or down the stairs, or the knock on the door, or whatever it might be, or the TV on, and attention is even less. Then we have the description, so that explains what they'll get and why it matters. So this is the selling portion. You have to sell, even though it's free. Again, I believe that nothing is free, not even a free lead magnet, because it does require their time. They have to invest their time to consume it. And to be honest, time is probably the most precious commodity that we have. So actually, even a freebie is quite expensive to your leads, to your customers, and to your clients. So we have to sell them on why that matters. And then the call to action tells them exactly what to do next. So we'll break this down. Part 1, or section 1, headline: grab attention fast. So attention is scarce. We have to grab that attention. But a sales page, a landing page, whatever it is that we're creating, and it's the same for any piece of marketing, whether it's a piece of content, whether it's a reel, whether it's a video, we don't just have to grab attention, we have to keep it. Probably the hardest thing to do in marketing is to keep somebody's attention. You can grab attention really, really easily. I can go onto, there is a website called, and it's eluding me now, Transitional Hooks, right? There's a website called transitionalhooks.co.uk or something like that. There's a bunch of videos on there. You can download them where it's basically attention grabbing things, like videos, people running into walls and things like that. It's so easy to grab attention, right? But then keeping attention is so much harder, which is why the 4 components are so important together. But the headline comes first, right? It's the first thing that people see, and if it doesn't grab their attention, then they will leave. Always look at your sales pages, look at your customer journey, look at your sales process from your own perspective. We are sellers as well as buyers. We click on things because we have curiosity. We click on people that we follow, we click on links that of people that we follow, and we are buyers and consumers ourselves. And our customers act just like us. So if we're clicking on things and clicking off, they're clicking on things and clicking off. Okay, so consider this. These 5 things. What are they gaining or learning? So what is the outcome of the thing that you're selling or the thing that you're offering? What is it solving? So the problem. What is it avoiding? I haven't even spelled that correctly. What is it avoiding? So the pain. So the difference for me between problems and pains is if you have, let's just say, you use a really easy example. If you don't have any money, that is a problem. But the pain associated, let me let someone in. Joanne. Did I click accept then, or did I decline it? Oh, I did. I clicked accept. So yeah, if you don't have any money, that is a problem. But the pain associated to that problem and what ultimately the fallout of having no money is you can't pay your bills, you might, you're late on your rent or your mortgage, you get kicked out, you're stressed, you're overwhelmed, you are feeling really pretty shitty, you probably avoid talking about money. There are so many pains that are associated with problems. So to understand the difference between our client's problems and our ICA's problems and the pains is such an important part of that marketing process. And for anyone that's been around me, I talk about that a lot. So what are they avoiding? What is the pain that this lead magnet, this freebie might or can help them overcome? When can they achieve it, the time frame, and what is it, the asset? Okay, so these are all things we need to consider when we're looking at crafting our landing page. Because then we take those things, the outcome, the problem, the pain, the time frame, the asset, and we create our headlines. So there's a couple of formulas here that I've just put in, but it's about using these different things, the outcome, the problem, the pain, the time frame, the asset, and crafting different things, different ways of creating that headline. So a formula, for example, might be get this end result, so the outcome, get the outcome without the pain or the obstacle or the problem. It might be get a quick win in a certain time frame without a struggle, so without a pain or without a problem. Or it might be the asset, so a 3-step guide to achieving the outcome. But as you can see, these different formulas incorporate one or more of these different aspects of essentially what is our customer's journey, our customer's situation, the thing that they want or the thing that they don't have. So, for example, there's just a couple of good examples and bad examples. So, a boring example might be download my freebie. Like, if your call to action or if your page is just saying download my free guide, I saw a story the other day on social media and somebody said, like, who wants a freebie? And I was reading it thinking, like, come on, like, you can do better. Right? Like, who wants a freebie? Okay, what is it? What does it do? How does it help me? How does it benefit me? What problem does it solve? What outcome does it provide? Like, what is it to begin with? Because they just said freebie. Versus get 10 high converting funnel templates without hiring a designer, or get the 7-step framework to automate business in 30 days. Right? So it's clear, it's concise, and it explains exactly what they're going to get, how they're going to benefit, and potentially how it's going to make the process easier because they don't have to hire a designer, for example. Then we move on to subheadline. So once you have that headline, we introduce a subheadline to build curiosity, because a headline is more often than not, it's probably only going to be about 7 to 10 words, if that. So that grabs the attention. Our subheadline then tags onto that just below to build curiosity. Okay, so this is where we can clarify the benefit and give them a reason to keep reading. So we grab the attention, then we keep the attention below with the subheadline. So for example, it might be a step-by-step guide to help you achieve a desired outcome without the guesswork. And you can see it sounds a little bit similar to the top, but it's kind of an extension, a follow-on from the headline. So it doubles down on what has already been said by giving them a little bit more. So the 7-step framework to automate your business in 30 days. Get this step-by-step guide to help you build automations without the guesswork. Okay, so the headline grabs the attention, the sub-headline just adds a little bit more context and builds a little bit more curiosity, so they keep reading to the next section, because all these sections fit together to keep them going through, ultimately then to clicking the button and opting in. Then we've got another example there. Finally, a simple way to solve their problem without wasting hours. But then it's the description that kind of seals the deal. Okay. And oftentimes, these are sometimes things that people miss, like the description can be missed, or maybe sometimes it can be just a description on its own. But the description sometimes is the thing that lacks. But this is where we explain why they need it. Like, why do they need this freebie? So I mentioned just at the start, like, nothing is free. Not even a freebie is free, because it requires our time to consume it, and obviously our time is expensive, because we don't have much of it. So nothing is free, and we have to explain to our leads, to our clients, to our prospects, why they should invest their time to consume this freebie. Why should they give their time to our thing that we've created? And ultimately, we have to sell them on that. Okay, and that's where the description comes in. So this is where we talk about what they're getting, why it's valuable, and what they'll achieve by consuming this thing. Okay, now these examples are short, like descriptions can be big paragraphs, they can be concise bullet points, but ultimately the content of the description has to clearly tell them what they're getting, why they need it, why it's valuable, and what they'll achieve then on the back end of consuming that. So you're kind of taking them through that little, a very brief customer journey on that landing page. So inside this free guide, you'll discover the exact system that I use to achieve X, Y, and Z. You'll learn this, and this. Okay, you'll walk away with a proven process to achieve this. And then call to action. That's the button. Click here, download now. But make it clear and actionable. Tell them what to do. Keep it short, direct, and benefit driven. So I just want to touch on that benefit driven, because benefits, if you look at the difference between outcomes and benefits, outcome being the thing that somebody achieves, the benefit being how that benefits them. A benefit driven call to action is something like this: get instant access. The benefit being they don't have to wait. Download your free guide, so that's benefit driven because it's free. Grab your copy now. That's the benefit. They can get it now. Okay, so these are only small words that are added in, right? Like now, you don't really blink an eyelid at that, but from a marketing perspective, that's a benefit-driven word. Get it now. Okay, instant, free. Free is not necessarily the most compelling. It doesn't have the weight that it used to hold, because everything's, you can get freebies, download freebies anyway these days. It doesn't hold the weight that it used to hold, but it's understanding the little words that we're putting in to give our lead magnet and our call to action a little bit more power. Cool. And then we can bring it all together. Okay, so crafting this stuff time after time after time, it does take time, and I'm a massive fan of AI and ChatGPT anyway, which some of you know. So I've got this little prompt that I want to share with you that anybody should be able to use this, even if you don't really use ChatGPT right now. I've put the prompts in there that will make sure you give it the information that it needs to have. But obviously, the rule of thumb being that with anything that ChatGPT creates or an AI system creates, make sure you're proofreading it, make sure you're not copy and pasting it. Like, I'm going insane on Facebook at the moment with the amount of people who are copy and pasting with little hyphens. So like, not little hyphens, asterisks. So like, you're seeing their content and their content looks like this. It's driving me insane because they're just not taking time to even do super basic stuff like that. And that, that impacts readability. Like, nobody wants to read that, like, when their content is full of asterisks and like massive spaces and all these things. So yeah, proofread, make sure it says what you want it to say, and then make sure it sounds like you. So let me take you through this little prompt, and I'll put the document, I'll upload this training, the recording into the community, and I'll put the document below so you can access it. But we want to say something along the lines of this. So I am, and then insert who you are and what you do. So I am I'm a fitness coach, and I help X, Y, and Z to do ABC. Okay, I help busy entrepreneurs to lose weight in less than 30 minutes. Lose weight in less than 30 minutes a day. Right, really simple and concise. And I am creating a landing page for my lead magnet. And then here we just need to give ChatGPT the information that we needed to know. So put the lead magnet name. Okay, and all you literally have to do is just copy this. So if you literally just copy and paste this into ChatGPT and then change the insert the stuff, that's all you literally have to do. You can free type it if you want, but I'll leave that to you. And then lead magnet type. So like what type of lead magnet is it? What's the asset? Is it a PDF, a checklist, spreadsheet, training, a course? Like what is it? And target audience. So who is it for? Be specific. Like don't just say entrepreneurs if you are helping entrepreneurs of a specific kind. Are they service-based businesses? Like who is the avatar? So just be specific so that it's using the right language. If you help corporate women, for example, don't just put women, but make sure you put in the specific title of the people that you are actually helping. If that is part of your marketing and business plan, if it is just women you're helping, great, just put women. The outcome. So what's the outcome it provides? So just describe the key outcome it helps people to achieve and the benefits that it also helps. So again, difference between outcome and benefits being outcome is the overall goal that you're helping people to achieve. The benefits being is how achieving that outcome benefits their life. What difference do they see in their life? So outcome might be, I help people to build automations, or I help people to automate their business so they can achieve the benefits of freeing up time, better work-life balance, get more things done, improve efficiency, etc., etc. Then what are the problems it solves? So what is the main problem that it solves? Again, if it's something like automation, the main problem that it solves might be that they're super busy, they are unorganized, they literally don't have time to scratch their ass. And then what are the pains it eradicates? So what are the pains that come along with the problem that I'm solving? So if I'm solving a problem of not having enough time, the pains associated with that might be that you feel stressed, you feel anxious when you're working because you feel like you don't have enough time, you are always rushing to a deadline, you are having sleepless nights because you're thinking about all the work you've got to do, you are potentially procrastinating because you don't even want to get started, etc., etc. So there are pains always associated with the problems. And then this little part here, please act as if you are a marketing expert and generate high converting headline, subheadline, description, and call to action that will turn my page viewers into leads using proven marketing formulas. The tone should be clear, compelling, and conversion focused. And then if you do want to add this little added prompt at the end, so it is important, like if you haven't used ChatGPT before, it might not know your tone and how you speak. So make sure you tell it how you speak so that it creates stuff that sounds like you and doesn't sound like a robot. So when creating these, please take into consideration the following: my tone and voice. So describe how you like to come across to your audience. So the way you speak, how you want to be perceived. So like, are you softly spoken? Are you laid back? Are you professional? Are you humorous? Like who are you and how do you sound to your audience when you create content yourself? Make sure that you're telling ChatGPT that information so that it can actually sound like you.